To most people, this little house on Montgomery Road in Silverton looks like nothing special. It's just another building. But to the trans youth in Cincinnati, what lies behind these doors can be a lifesaver. This is Transform Cincy, a nonprofit that provides clothes to transgender youth in the process of transitioning. People donate all kinds of items to add to these racks. The garage is filled with jeans and shoes. The basement is stuffed with everything else. A stylist fills a rack with clothes based off the preferences and sizes the client lists in their appointment Google form. Clients try out the items in their dressing room. Whatever they like gets to be taken home for free. These gender-affirming clothes allow youth to live as the gender they're comfortable in. Tristan Vaught co-founded Transform in 2019 alongside Nancy Dawson, who passed away in 2020. They say that gender-affirming care is necessary for all people, not just trans kids.
You have someone who puts makeup on, that's gender affirming. You have a dude who grows out his beard, that's gender affirming. Anything that makes you feel comfortable and how you want to look in your own skin is gender affirming. It's not just a trans thing.
But for trans youth, accessing gender affirming clothes can be challenging and stressful. Morgan Bess Zimmer is an advisor at UC who started their transition in 2020 with a visit to Transform. They say the cost of clothes isn't the only thing that stops transgender kids from going to stores.
So my biggest struggle is that the unisex or the men's stuff is too big for me or too long for me, because traditionally, cis men are long, and so they have a lot of different options to go through, whereas if you go to any generic store, they tend to all have similar sizing.
But it's about more than just the clothing. Transform has recently upgraded to their third location and started hosting monthly programming for youth and families. They host events like game nights and arts and crafts. Vaught also speaks to parents who may be struggling with accepting their child after they've come out.
I pull them away from the kid. This is why my office is over here, where I can have conversations with the parents, and they can ask me those questions. They can vent to me.
Between community events and the gender-affirming clothing, Transform is the Cincinnati safe space that can be hard for trans kids to find elsewhere.
We've always existed. So trans youth have existed before they had gender-affirming care. Trans people have existed before we had gender-affirming care. We will still be able to exist, but part of that is being able to build that community and have those spaces like we have here.
Even as debates in the political world continue on trans rights, Vaught says that Transform is hoping to open their closet to all ages by next July. This is Lewis Rogers in Silverton.